In minutes to the top of the hour, you are watching Morning at NTV, Tuesday's edition, the 2nd of September 2025. Our conversations start off now with our Tech Note, where we get to look at challenges of education financing here in Uganda. Now, households do face struggles in paying for education, yet private schooling has also become a prominent provider of education, most especially in different cities across the country. Now, we want to detail the challenges of education financing for us and for our children here in Uganda. And my guest, Charity Mutagamba, who's the CEO of Fincom Technologies, is going to help us understand more about the education financing, what are the gaps that currently do exist, and how, as a technological entity, are going to be addressing those particular gaps. I am Priscilla Regina Nalwoga. Welcome. Charity, good morning.
Good morning, Priscilla.
How are you?
Well, thank you.
What were some of the challenges you faced while you were going through the education system as a child?
As a child,
a people, a student.
All right. Thank you, Priscilla. So, as the challenges I faced, I may not speak to them myself. Maybe my parents went through them. But what I clearly remember is having to queue up in those long lines, waiting to make my payments before I could go to school. Yes, in the banks. So that was a really big challenge. But of course, I think with our parents still, you know, they had so many, not so many kids, but, you know, a number of kids they had to take to school, and sometimes they may not have had all the funds at the same time to be able to take everyone to school. So you'd find that they maybe pay half for Priscilla, half for Charity, so that you're all able to go to school, and then they work towards finishing that. So those are some of the challenges that I can think of.
All right. Some schools had that leniency. Schools today do not have that leniency.
Right.
Schools today say 100% for full payment, especially city schools. If not, we cannot welcome you or the child here in this education system. And so that means that there's an issue there. The parent wants the best education for their child, but the cost of that education. So let's talk about education financing. What is it, and what's the scope looking like for us as a country?
All right. So, just like you have ably put it, some schools want 100%, and the parent is not able to come up with that 100%. But when you look at it, the schools also want to actually operate. So the funds they use to operate are the termly fees that the students are bringing. So that is really the biggest challenge. That's where the gap is. As a country, we have people who are living below the poverty line, and they're not able to give you all the funds at the same time. As a school, you want to operate your school so that you do your everyday, you know, operations. So that's a challenge that we have seen, and we want to come together with the different stakeholders in the financing industry and see how do we help this, because when a school is poor, you will not have a good education in the country, right? And the school will be as rich as the parents who are taking their school, their children to that school, right? So we're just trying to look at that and see whether we can bring a solution. And how do we bring that solution? By getting together with the different stakeholders, the banks, the telecoms, the schools themselves. How do we create a solution that will enable them to run their operations, even as the parents are trying their best to bring the kids with the right amounts to school? Yes.
Have you designed such a system that can actually aid both parties in delivering to the education sector?
So from where we sit, with about 13,000 schools on our platform, and we have been in this business for almost 10 years now, and what we see is we are able to collect the information. We are able to see that this is how the schools, this is how the parents are paying school fees. So we have that data, and we can leverage that data with the different financial institutions to come up with a good solution. So yes, something is in the works. It's not out yet, but it is in the works, so that we can be able to support these schools, finance them, as they also, you know, have that leniency for the different parents who are not able to bring in all the money at once, but they are able to run their schools, and then as they wait for their students to come through.
All right, Charity, you have mentioned supporting as well as financing. How does a platform actually help achieve support and financing to the school, but also to the ones that have to bring their children to the school?
Okay, so what we have done as school pay, among other things, of course, we have enabled the payment of school fees. You know, like I mentioned earlier with the queues and stuff. So that, I think we have been able to do very well, because now with just your phone, you're able to make your school fees payment, and you don't have to go line up. You can make the school fees payment as you're in the bursar's office, if that is what you desire. We have enabled that. So what we are looking at is to give even more value for the parents, for the schools and everything. So one of the things we have done, for instance, is we have partnered with Furaha, and we are able to give out school fees loans, right, to parents. So the school gets their money, and the parent works to resolve that. So we are able to support the school get their money on time through a school fees loan to the parent. We've also gone ahead to say, hey, sometimes you have the money, you just want to have an opportunity to save it, right? So that by the time school fees comes, you're able to make it to pay a good amount comfortably, right? So we have created a savings solution. A parent is able to, if you are a vegetable seller, for instance, and you want to save 5,000 every day, you can do that. So that at the beginning of the term, you're able to comfortably pay, say, 50,000, which you were not able to do before. That is still supporting that the school gets their money on time. So what we are now trying to do is create a marketplace, for instance, where a school is able to come on the platform and see that, hey, I need financing, I need to put up a building or something, I need to run my term for the 30 days before everyone brings in their school fees. Who is able to give me the facility that I need? So with our platform, they'll be able to see Bank A can do this, Bank B can do that, and then they decide who they want to go with, and then they can, because we have enabled that with the data that we have and everything.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. There's the Education Financing Symposium. I think it's the first of its kind that we've had here in Uganda. What are you seeking to address? Because right now, first of all, education is very expensive right now. And then two, the quality of education at that expense, things are not matching up, honestly, Charity. So let's talk about the symposium and what it's hoping to address with this financing in education.
All right. So when, like we talked about schools and when they're not doing well financially, I don't think they can concentrate really on the quality of education. So what we're trying to do with this symposium is to bring all the actors in one room, have these conversations. How are we able to do this financing sustainably so that the schools do not concentrate on looking for money as it has become these days, but concentrate on what the thing is that we go to school for that quality education, right? So I think the whole reason why it becomes so difficult is because they're trying to make their ends meet, and sometimes they miss out on this. But if we bring everyone in the room at that symposium and have conversations to show us how we can ably bring financing, and it becomes less of a problem. Then the schools will also concentrate on the education and probably get it to a higher quality than we have right now.
Okay, so who are the actors that you're going to be having in the room, and when is the symposium? Do people have to register to come?
All right, so this is the first of its kind, like we have said. So it has been, it is an invite, it is an event where you have been invited. But those who have not been invited will still be able to be part of the conversation because we'll be live on our YouTube channel. Who to expect? We'll have development partners like Opportunity International, Vision Fund, those will be in the room. We'll have the telcos, MTN, Airtel, will have the different banks. We work with over 22 institutions and they will all be in the room.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I've not heard you talk about the government being in the room.
Oh, the regulator is also in the room. Okay.
The government is, you know, is the enabler of this
of everything, yes. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, they will also be in the room. That was my, something I forgot. But yes, we'll have the regulator in the room. We are regulated by Bank of Uganda, and we'll also have members of the Ministry of Education in the room.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. On that regard, what's the theme for this symposium?
So the theme for this symposium is education financing, the different financing models we can have for schools. Yes.
Okay. All right. So what does one need to ensure that they're actually enjoying proper financing of education? And that's both from the individual side, but also from the education side. Those are the ones who provide the education. What do they need to have at their fingertips if they're going to actually enjoy the benefits of financing in education?
All right. So what they need to have at their fingertips, I think as a country, really, we need to improve on our saving culture, right from the parents. If whatever little you are earning, you're able to save a little, just a little, you could improve financing as a whole. And even in the education sector, the different schools, I'm sure they have, when they do get the different financing, if we had a better way of using our finances, we'll be able to manage and also have the opportunity to get collaborate with the different people. Then we'll have better financing, collaborate with banks, collaborate with telcos, anyone that is in this this ecosystem, really. Okay.
As you offer us your closing remarks on call to action on especially the symposium, I would also like to speak into what are some of the achievements that you have realized, especially working with schools and also working with the finance institutions that you've been working with.
So just like I mentioned, I think earlier, we've been able to work with over 13,000 schools, enabling them to collect their funds easily with the different numbers of parents. We have over 5 million students that pay with our platform. So I believe that in itself is an achievement. We have taken care of the queues and all that, and have made school fees payments quite easy and affordable in this, and have turned around the way it was done before. So that's, I think, our biggest achievement so far.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Charity, and all the best to the Education Financing Symposium that is coming up. What are the dates?
That's tomorrow, which is the 3rd of September at